Hi, Bhavish. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, amazing, amazing. So before we start, I know few quick points. We just disable everyone's voice option for now to make sure that there is no disturbance. However, towards the end, we will open up the voice as well as Q&A is open. Our backend team is continuously checking the questions that you would put in the chat. So feel free to put anything in chat that you want to ask, and at the end we will start with we will have the time for all the questions and answers that you can ask directly. Right. So this session is, again, good afternoon and welcome to the session where we will talk about how Sophos Endpoint, helps you stay ahead of the cyber threats. Right. So before we begin, a quick introduction about us as Versatech Global. We are a cybersecurity first organization present in about 8 locations. We overall experience as an organization, we have 30 plus years of experience. We've delivered over 1,000 projects, more than 2,700 customers, and we going strong with over 100 team members. And our technical team, which is our backbone, we've got uh, we've got over 100 certifications from the OEM. So at a glance, what we do, what we as Versatech do, we provide network solutions. We deal in endpoint security management, application security, all the cyber security services like SIEM, SOAR, cyber awareness, dark web monitoring, etc. The cloud security is something we are also into, like CSPM, etc. And then, last but not the least, data management and data backup, right? Whether it is server backup, endpoint, DC, DR kind of setup, we will be more than happy to assist. Well, yeah, every organization need help, right? So there is a evolving threat landscape. The regulatory compliance is there, data protection and privacy requirements are there. The resource constraint nowadays. When I'm talking to CISOs, most of the times there is a scarcity of trained resources, the skilled resources. So that is, and in addition to the resources, just the budget is very limited to the IT team, right? The incident response and recovery is very important aspect, and that is where the organization help. Now, without taking much of your time, I'll pass it on to Mr. Adil Abbas, who is a sales engineer of cybersecurity with Sophos. He will take us through the insight in how Sophos help organization in making sure that the security is in place. So Adil ji, over to you.
Thank you, Bhavish, for that lovely introduction. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, please.
Thank you again for that lovely introduction. And before we start, I'll also would like to introduce. We have Niharika from the sales account as in sales account manager from Sophos with us. So I'll be taking you through I'll be driving this webinar for today. And I'm a pre-sales engineer. I've been working with Sophos from over 4+ years now. I'm handling India region APJ. And I'll be covering most of your queries. And please feel free to drop your questions if you have any in the chat box. We can address it at the end of the session. Starting with today's agenda. From understanding Sophos, we'll start with understanding Sophos central platform and where Sophos started, what we have been and what we are doing now. And then we'll talk about our core products of Sophos, starting from the endpoint and the tiers we have in our endpoint. And we'll also talk about the network segment, including the firewall, switches, and wireless. Along with that, we'll also add email security on top of that. And at the end, we will also have a quick demo or the overview of Sophos central platform, which is a unified console where we manage all the products of Sophos from a single pane of glass. And at the end, we'll have the question and answer segment. Starting with Sophos serves over 6 lakh customers globally, and that scale is a massive productivity advantage for both partners and customers. Why? Because every threat we detect in our environment helps protect all others instantly. For partners, this means you are recommending a platform backed by unmatched threat intelligence. We have over 250 dedicated researchers processing 223 terabytes of data on a daily basis. Your customers get proactive protection that catches threats before they cause damage, which means you get less emergency calls, minimal incident responses, and more time for your team to focus on other growth. The industry recognition from Gartner, G2, and IDC confirms that Sophos consistently delivers top tier security outcomes. Take a look at how complex today's IT environments have become. We have endpoints, servers, cloud workloads, email, identities, switches, access points, remote devices, and more. For customers, managing security across all these vectors with different tools is a productivity nightmare, right? Sophos solves this by covering every single one of these attack surfaces with integrated solutions, all managed from Sophos Central. And for partners, this is a huge selling point. Instead of covering security by multiple vendors, you can offer customers a unified security stack from a single vendor, which gives you less complexity and also gives you faster deployments, which is happening from a single management console. Now let us talk about the foundation of endpoint security. Sophos Endpoint and EDR for customers. For customers, endpoint protection is the first line of defense, and every minute of downtime from an endpoint breach directly impacts their productivity. Right? Sophos Endpoint is designed to stop threats before they execute, keeping employees' productivity and systems up and running. What truly sets Sophos Endpoint apart? There are three game-changing technologies. One is starting with the CryptoGuard. This is your customer's best defense against ransomware. It monitors files in real time, catches encryption attempts. It also terminates malicious processes and automatically rolls back the affected files. And we do not also have any cap on the size of the file to roll back. So we do not any file size can be rolled back with CryptoGuard. And it is also capable of defending against ransomware, which are operated remotely than on-premise, also the on-premise one. This means zero productivity loss from ransomware attacks. Next is we have adaptive attack protection, which is automatically escalates its defenses when it detects an hands-on keyboard attack, buying critical time without any manual intervention. It strengthens policy on its own, making it tough for the attacker to penetrate easily. And anti-experts are very crucial these days. If the vendor of any application has not released the patch fix for any loophole, the attackers find it easy way in for without any hassle. Our anti-exploitation engine has around 64/7 built-in mitigations that work from day one. No configuration extra is needed for that. If we compare this with products like Microsoft Defender, which most of the people are using, and they have around 30 to 40 mitigations available, out of which only 7 mitigations are enabled by default. The rest of the mitigation needs to be manually enabled, which is again a complex job. And for partners, this is out of the box effectiveness. You can confidently recommend Sophos knowing it will protect right away. Besides having the strongest suite of protection, Sophos also offers the customers where we empowers admins with features like web control, peripheral control, application control, and data loss prevention, which are essential productivity tools. They keep employees safe without being intrusive. Web control blocks risky categories during working hours. Peripheral control prevents unauthorized USB access or Bluetooth device connections. And we also have a basic DLP which ensures sensitive data which should not leak out of the organization. Coming to account health check, this is a productivity goldmine for both partners and customers. Security misconfiguration is the number one cyber risk, and this feature automatically identifies those misconfigurations and often let you fix them with one single click. For customers, it is like having continuous security audit running in the background, which also catches issues like tamper protection is if at all it is disabled, or if you have added excess exclusions for your policies. So those kind of errors, those kind of gaps would be disclosed, and that can be fixed with one click. And that also gives you the transparency how your environment is working, whether it is in good health state, or how much score you have scored against your protection. Coming to EDR and XDR. EDR and XDR are for the in-house security analyst. You need to have a local analyst who should be operating these tools. EDR gives you in your in-house team the visibility to catch advanced threats like fileless malware and zero-day exploits that traditional antivirus does not see. This also offers tools which would be helpful for analysis like root cause analysis, case investigation, threat hunting, or also correlate data telemetry, etc. Please note, EDR covers only endpoints and servers. On the other hand, XDR extends this across the entire network. The customer can integrate platforms like their firewall, email, wireless, and any other IT assets what they have in their environment. The more integration we have, the more data we could collect, and the more visibility we can get across the entire network. That allows us to correlate data to stop sophisticated multi-vector attacks. These logs are stored on our data lake, and these are accessible via Sophos Central. The default 30 days data retention is available for EDR, and 90 days is for XDR. The optional 1 year extension is also available for longer retention period. Sophos MDR is a cybersecurity as a service, and it is a game changer for customers' productivity. Not every organization has resources to run a 24/7 security operations center, and that is exactly where MDR comes into picture. Sophos experts continuously monitor your environment and proactively hunt for threats and respond to incidents in real time on your behalf. For customers, this would be the internal IT team who can focus on strategy initiatives instead of being occupied by alert fatigues and incident responses. What makes Sophos MDR truly unique is that it combines the best of both delivery models. Sophos MDR works with both Sophos and third-party products side by side. For customers, it would be like a protection. They're protecting their existing investments while getting full incident response capabilities, not just guidance, but actual hands-on containment and remediation from the Sophos team. And this flexibility is a massive competitive advantage for the partners. You can position Sophos MDR regardless of what the customer already has deployed, making it as an easy conversation and a faster path to closing the deals. These numbers speaks for themselves. Sophos MDR responds to threats 96% faster than any internal security team, with a 38-minute average remediation time, broken down into 1 minute of detection, 25 minutes of investigation, and 12 minutes to remediate the threat. And with a 99.98 successful rate, customers can trust that threats are being handled effectively. These metrics are powerful selling tools when you can show a customer that Sophos MDR will detect and resolve threats in under 40 minutes, while their internal team might take days. The reason? The in-house security analyst scope is limited to their respective environment. They should correlate all the data coming from different platforms like endpoint, server, firewall, email, etc. And out of which they need to filter the noise of the data and to identify potential threats across it with their expertise. Whereas Sophos MDR team has a broader scope. If a threat is detected at one customer's environment, we can instantly block it for all the other customers where investigation time is eradicated. We have more expertise and more advanced tools like advanced tools where we correlate precise data out of the noise and identify the indicators of compromise to block threats at the very early stage. This portfolio overview shows partners and customers exactly how Sophos licensing tiers build, starting with Sophos Endpoint for comprehensive protection. Then we have EDR and XDR. On top of that, we have MDR for fully managed 24/7 coverage. The customers can start where they are comfortable, and they can scale up without switching vendors. Except for the endpoint, every tier includes Sophos AI core and guided threat insights from Sophos XOps, ensuring even the entry-level offering delivers serious productivity, enhancing security automation. Please note, with Sophos EDR, Sophos endpoint is included. There is no need of purchasing endpoint separately if they are opting for EDR. For XDR and MDR, they need to opt for Sophos endpoint protection as well. Let's talk about network security. Network security today is a plagued by complexity, right? Too many products, remote workers, challenges, performance versus protection trade-offs, and lack of visibility. For customers, these problems directly eat into productivity, and as IT team juggle with multiple consoles and struggle with integration. Sophos Network in a Box bundle solves this by combining firewall, Sophos switch, and Sophos wireless into a unified solution, which is managed from Sophos Center. For partners, Network in a Box simplifies the selling motion. Instead of piecing together network security from multiple vendors, you can offer a complete integrated stack that also allows you to deploy deeper, faster, and works better together with synchronized security. 5 purpose-built a network in a box bundle covers every scenario from a small remote office to a large headquarters. The bundle include matched firewalls, switch and wireless access point combinations. These are designed to work together seamlessly. These bundles simplify quoting and deployment instead of specing individual components. You select the bundle that matches the customer's environment, and you are good to go. This speeds up the sales cycle and reduces post-deployment support as well. The first product from the network stack, Sophos Firewall. Sophos Firewall is a cornerstone of every network security for the customers of all sizes. It is not about blocking threats. It is about giving customers the visibility, control, and performance without any compromise. The deep integration with Sophos Central and Synchronized Security delivers a level of automated threat response that standalone firewalls simply cannot match, making your customers more secure. The XGS series scales from the smallest person office to large campus networks. The dual processor architecture with extreme flow processor, they get both top tier protection and high performance. No more choosing between security and speed. The modular connectivity and redundant power options ensures to have a business continuity. The extreme fast path technology reduces the latency on trusted traffic, which means customers notice performance improvements immediately. All the trusted traffic flows through fast path, which allows the primary processor with additional resources to focus on critical events. Sophos Firewall is the first MDR focused firewall in the industry, and that is a huge differentiator. With built-in active threat detection and response, multiple AI threat intelligence feeds from MDR, XDR, NDR, and EDR, and automatic response through synchronized security. Customers get a firewall that does not just inspect traffic, but it actively participates in threat hunting and incident responses as well. NDR Essentials comes included at no extra cost, with Extreme Protection Bundle, which runs on Sophos Cloud with zero impact on the firewall performance. So that also gives you the visibility on the internal traffic, what is going on at the switch level without having an infrastructure, dedicated infrastructure for the NDR. Also, this is the best opportunity for the partners where every firewall scale becomes a gateway to MDR and broader to the broader ecosystem conversations. Sophos offers two main firewall licensing bundles, starting with standard and extreme protection. Plus, individual subscriptions are also allowed. For customers, this is flexible licensing, which means they can pay exactly what they need and they can expand coverage as the requirements grow. For partners, it is having clear, well-defined bundles, simplifies the quoting process and makes it easy to show customers the incremental value of upgrading from standard to extreme. The subscription model also creates predictable recurring revenue for your businesses. The next product from the network stack is we have Sophos Switch. This Sophos Switch completes the network security stack by extending protection to the LAN edge. Having switches that integrate natively with Sophos Center and the broader security ecosystem eradicates the blind spots from the network. If you see any network, all the internal IT assets are connected via a switch. Does it not show the gap in the security system? Through though you have top tier security for other platforms like endpoint, access point, firewall. Yet if your switch is managed by a third party controller separately with no visibility and security, this gap could be covered with Sophos switches which are very much robust, secure, and easily managed via Sophos Central, where all our products would share the data telemetry among each other. If at all there is a threat identified at one place at any particular platform, that would be intimated for that would be the information would be shared across all the other products of Sophos so that the lateral movement of that infection should not spread across the network and that particular device could be isolated and remediated separately. Then we have Sophos models, Sophos switch models. Starting with 1 gig, we also support 2.5 and 10 gigs of options we have. And we have around 8, 24 and 48 ports switches offering full PoE support across the lineup. Customers can power access points and cameras directly from the switch. This ensures they get exactly the right performance and port density for their environment without overspending. For partners, the clear product segmentation by bandwidth tier makes it straightforward to recommend the right model for their customers. Managing switches from Sophos Central is a significant productivity advantage. Customers can get site level management. If they have multiple sites, they can manage it from the same console instead of doing it on premise locally on all their other branches. And they can also have switch stacking. VLAN configurations can also be done. We can also apply QoS, SNMP monitoring and diagnostics. Such kind of tools enhances the security and management of the admin to a very extreme level. And this eliminates the need for separate switch management tools and the admin need not to be available on site in order to visit to perform the regular checkups, or if at all the admin needs to make any configuration changes, he can perform it from anywhere across the globe or via Sophos Center. Then we have Sophos Wireless. Sophos Wireless provides secure business-grade Wi-Fi that goes for far beyond basic connectivity. This can also be managed from Sophos Central. It integrates seamlessly with firewalls, endpoints, and switches for a unified security posture. We also offer features like WPA3 encryption and separate employee and guest networks with customizable portals, ensuring both security and usability. For partners, wireless is often the entry point to broader Sophos conversations. Once customers see the benefits of central management for Wi-Fi, that also expands for the firewall and the endpoint to the customer down the line. Similar to addressing the switch gap, Wi-Fi also adds another gap in the ecosystem, which could be addressed with Sophos wireless solution. The AP6 wireless series includes models for every deployment scenario, from small retail location to high density office environments, and even outdoor installations are also supported. Wi-Fi 6 and 6 Wi-Fi 6E support where customers get faster speeds, better capacity in crowded environments, and future-proof infrastructure. The right access point ensures employees stay connected and productive without Wi-Fi slowing down or dead zones. Next, we have email. Email remains the number one attack vector, with over 90% of successful cyber attacks starting with a phishing email. A compromised email can lead to data breaches, ransomware, and massive productivity loss. Sophos email uses AI and machine learning to stop threats before they reach the inbox, keeping employees focused on their work instead of worrying about phishing. Sophos email is a critical piece of security conversation where every customer uses email, and with the rise of AI-powered phishing attacks, the need for advanced email security has never been greater. Sophos email is the only email security solution built from the ground up to work with the MDR team, and that is a massive productivity advantage. Email threats are automatically escalated to Sophos MDR analyst for investigation, and they can take direct action like isolating endpoints or blocking domains based on email signals, suspending compromised email accounts, etc. Email threats are caught and contained faster than any standalone email security tools could achieve. For partners, this MDR integration is a unique selling point that no competitor can match. It also turns the email security from a commodity into a differentiated high value offering. Sophos email continues to innovate with features that directly boost partner and customer productivity. QR code phishing protection catches phishing attacks that bypasses traditional filters. On-demand clawback lets admin remove unwanted emails with a single click, saving hours of manual cleanup. Country of origin filtering blocks unwanted email from a specific region or any particular geography. And then we have business email compromise notifications. BEC notifications alert you to account compromise instantly. And MFR tamper alerts catch and unauthorized changes to email flow rules. That also helps the admin to have that visibility of what at all is happening in their environment with regards to the email security. Then we have DMARC compliance. DMARC compliance is becoming essential for every deliverability and brand protection. This facilitates better email delivery rates, protection against domain spoofing and impersonation attacks, and a compliance certificate they can share with their business partners and insurance providers. It addresses a real pain point that many customers struggle with, and its integration with Sophos email makes a deployment very seamless. Sophos fish threat turns your weakest security link, which is real-time human behavior, into strength. Through realistic phishing simulations and targeted trainings, employees learn to recognize and avoid email-based threats. Better trained employees tend to fewer successful phishing attacks, less downtime, and a stronger overall security culture. The fact that phishing threat is now included with Sophos email subscriptions at no extra cost, and this is a huge value added to the emails product. As we have a very broader portfolio, I would also like to highlight few product updates, which could also be the ideal solution addressing distinct pain points of the end users. Instead of hacking, Modern cyber criminals prefer to simply log in with stolen or leaked credentials on the dark web. ITDS stops this by verifying who is logging in, ensuring account settings are not vulnerable, and alerting the admin if the password has been compromised. Then we have ZTNA, Sophos Zero Trust Network Access. ZTNA is especially relevant right now as organizations continue to support hybrid and remote workforces. ZTNA replaces legacy VPN with a modern zero trust approach. Instead of granting broad network access, it provides micro-segmented approach, providing application-based access to the user. Then we have Sophos advisory services, which are proactive cybersecurity testing and risk assessments, solutions designed to help the organizations identify and fix security weaknesses in their environment. Before hackers can exploit them, the key options are like we also offer external pen testing, internal pen testing, wireless pen test, web application assessments, etc., and many more. Then we have when a business is hacked or hit by a ransomware, the emergency incident response team immediately steps in and kick the attackers out, stopping the damage and get the system safe and ready, up and running. Lastly, if you prefer to have the experts implementing Sophos solutions on customers' environment, we also offer professional services for a smooth and hassle-free transition. Now for the part that really brings everything together, the live demo of Sophos Center. Let me jump on to the Sophos Center. This is Sophos Center, the cloud-based dashboard or console where you can manage all the products of Sophos from a single pane of glass. To the right, you have the profile where you can see all the details of your account, where you can see the licensing and all the license. You need to add your licenses, Sophos licenses on this page to manage the products from this dashboard. This is the dashboard which gives you a quick overview of the alerts, what are all happening in your environment. These are the consolidated alerts across all the platforms integrated. So you can see alerts with respect to its severity, low alert, medium, high. You can directly jump on to any critical alerts and address it in one go. Then we on the dashboard we also have a quick health summary showcasing how your environment is protected, how well is your environment protected. If at all you have any gaps, you can always fix them with one click, or you can directly jump onto Sophos account health check page from this on this dashboard, and you can fix your alerts with one go. You can click on fix automatically, or you can verify it before fixing it manually. Going back to the dashboard, downside we also have the alerts related to the devices and the user summary, how your users are protected, how many devices does have the protection, how many devices are active or inactive, from how long, and if you, at all you have any policy violations or how your policies are working, you can also see these alerts on the dashboard itself. Scrolling back, we have my products, where you can see all the products listed. Okay, whichever licenses you have applied, you should be able to see those products listed under here. Since this is a demo environment, I do have all the products, and you can also start free trialing or having hands-on experience on our products for 30 days from the free trial section. Let's start with the endpoint. If I click on the endpoint dashboard, are the alerts related to the endpoint, unlike the consolidated alerts, what you have seen in the earlier page. These are only limited to the endpoint section. You can download your installers from here, where you can choose which agent you should be downloading, what components it should support. Since Sophos support of a single agent where we can also cater different requirements, like if at all you also looking for device encryption, you can also have licenses for device encryption, and the same agent can cater that particular service without having different agents sitting on your system. So you can choose which component you want to add. If at all it is only for the endpoint where you have EDR, XDR, or MDR, you can choose XDR. And these products can also be integrated later from the dashboard during time. Once you download the installer, you can see once you install your agent on the devices would be listed in the computer section. You can see the overall inventory, the overall architecture of the devices or the details of the devices, what kind of operating system it is running on, what are the host names of those devices, and who is the user using this device, what kind of protection you have enabled on this device, if at all encryption is included, if you have ZTNA or DNS protection included on the same device, that should be seen with the tick mark. If at all you want to assign any specific product during time, you can always click the plus sign listed on on the particular device. You should be able to add that particular component. Going back to the now going to the policies of endpoint. Since we have talked much about the protection, let's see jump on how the protection, what kind of protections we are providing. Starting with the base protection of threat policy, base policy of the threat protection, going to the settings. These are all the protection what we can anticipate from where you can get any attacks, and the protection we do have the protection for such critical attacks. We have live protection, which ensures that if it also Sophos agent verifies any latest information related to any particular files suspicious or malicious across the Sophos global data center. And we also have deep learning, where Sophos agent not only relies on the signature based attacks, it also verifies if at all any particular file is misbehaving. Based on the behavior, we can also detect this is a malicious artifact, and that should be protected. And we have protection against all kinds of activities. And then we have CryptoGuard, which is a ransomware protection service. It actively monitors any file which is being encrypted in real time. If at all we identify that this particular encryption is malicious, where we can revert back, we can terminate the process of encryption, and then we can roll back the file which is being encrypted with the actual file. Then we have all kinds of protection for the users, and you can see there is a new tag assigned to few of the policies here. So whenever we find any new tactics from any of the attackers across the globe, we always add such policies for the admin to be protected, to apply it on their endpoints as well. Then you have also schedule scanning, where where the admin can perform the full scanning on the endpoints during maybe during working hours or after working hours. They can schedule it, and that should perform the full scanning of on all the devices with respect to these configurations. And there you can add the global exclusions, where you, if at all you are trusting any in-house application, if at all you have any in-house application, or if you trust any particular product of or application, you can add it as an exclusion. So should not hamper those activities. Going back to policies, so you get all the base policy by default for all these policies. What we have, we have policy segregated for threat protection. We have policies for peripheral control, where you control your USBs, Bluetooth devices, as in such. We also have application control, where you can allow or deny application access for the users. For example, if you want to block VPN applications, if you want to block Gen AIs, so you can block that using application control. Then we have web control. Similarly, like application control, you can also control what are the websites the users can access, with which websites or which category of website should be blocked or allowed. You can do that with web control. Then we have DLP, the basic DLP, what is integrated with the basic endpoint of Sophos itself, where you can contain sensitive data with respect to the file name, or with respect to the content itself, or with respect to the file type. So these are the three ways you can contain data, and you can select what platforms it should not be forwarded through. And on top of the base policy, you can see all the custom policies. You can assign it to the different group of users, different set of users, with respect to the department, or with respect to the seniority or the hierarchy. You can always create your custom policies and assign it to the with respect to the use case. Going back to the product line, then we have firewall. Since there was typically earlier there was a requirement where a firewall would only be accessible through the on-site. Okay, the admin should be available on-site to configure the firewalls or to manage the firewalls, right? Now this is not the case. You can register your Sophos firewall with Sophos Central. That is where you should be able to access your firewalls from anywhere, and you can have multiple firewalls registered to Sophos Central. If at all you are having different branches, you can manage all your firewalls from a single console. The advantage of registering your Sophos firewall with Sophos Central is not only about accessing it from anywhere, that also gives you the advantage where you can synchronize, you can enable synchronized security across your environment. The reason all the Sophos endpoints would share their security heartbeat with Sophos firewall. The security heartbeat resembles how the security posture is working. If at all they have a good state, the heartbeat would be in green state. If at all the device is compromised, the agent security heartbeat would change from green to red. A quick example of the agent. This is the green heartbeat shared by my device. If at all I have any infection running on my system, the heartbeat would be from green to red. That is where the Sophos firewall would identify that this particular device is infected or exposed to any malware. So that is where the Sophos firewall automatically isolates the infected device to stop the lateral movement, and the same way all the information would be shared across the other devices connected into the network. This is also the advantage of registering Sophos firewall with Sophos Central. Going back to Sophos Central, not only that, you also have the backups which can be managed. The Sophos firewall backups can also be managed from Sophos Central. You can store your backups over Sophos Cloud, or you can manually add it to your local storage devices. Going back to Sophos Central. Similarly, we were talking about the network in a box concept where all the products are bundled. The next product I would like to go through with would be switches. You can manage all your switches from Sophos Central. Similarly, like firewalls, you can manage different branches. If you at all you have different branches or multiple switches, you can also add all your switches and manage it from one single pane of glass. You can see your details of the switches, what how your switches are configured, which ports are available, which ports are taken, and what is the speed and what else you can configure. Everything can be seen. You can also configure VLANs. You can also configure the QoS. You can also perform the diagnostics if at all you want to perform any troubleshooting. Everything is available from the Sophos Center. Then we have active threat response, which was only the feature only available in firewall earlier. Now we have integrated active threat response with our switches and wireless as well. Going back to Sophos product line, then we have our wireless. This is the dashboard for wireless where you can manage, you can see all the access points listed here. You can upgrade your firmware from for your access points. You can manage the SSIDs. You can manage different sites if at all you have across the globe. We can manage everything from one go, and this is where you can also see active threat response integrated with the wireless product line as well. Since we are running out of time, I'll quickly try to wrap up. This is Threat Analysis Center where you can see all the threats, all the detections which are which has been detected by Sophos. Everything would be recorded. You can see from the for the timeline or how long how many days back you want to see the threats. Everything would be recorded, and on the cases side you can investigate these threats. You can also create some most of the cases were created on its own, or you can as an analyst you can also create your own case to perform any investigation on your own. Right, then we have integrations, which we were talking about. You can integrate all the Sophos products from to share their data telemetry. If at all you have Sophos XDR, you can integrate different products of Sophos, including Sophos email, firewall, NDR, and everything can be done. And if at all you have any third-party products like Acronis, which is a backup solution, you have a Fortinet. So all the other third-party products can also be integrated with Sophos Central, okay, where your XDR analyst or Sophos MDR analyst can work across all the logs and find potential threats from your environment and respond to those threats accordingly. So this is where we get the extra visibility, and we should be able to perform these threats. And we have also integrated AI with our XDR, EDR, XDR, and MDR. Then we have Live Discover, which allows the analyst to perform any activity, to execute any command on your endpoints. Like if at all I want to see BitLocker is enabled on my devices, so I can search for the query. So these are predefined queries already available for the admin. They can just select the query. These are the SQL queries what we have. You can select on which endpoints I want to execute. Since this is a BitLocker, I'll select Windows devices. I'll select update and run the query. It will take a couple of seconds to execute the query and give me the result. I can see on two devices, the query has been executed, and the encryption method I could see none, which means there is no BitLocker enabled on these two devices. Similarly, I can perform any, I can execute any query on my machines. So this is more helpful for the admins or the analysts to maintain their environment in a very sober state. I think this is all for the demo. Going back to the presentation. I think we are good to go for the Q&A.